You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your weekly spoilers for May 26th through the 30th. We're going to have Phyllis threatening and Ashley absolutely shocking. She is back this week, y'all. There's party, there's chaos, there's so much going on. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please reach down, click subscribe. Let's dive right into the action starting on Monday, May 26th, season 52, episode 160 of Y&R. Sally and Billy are out for a run, and it's eating at Sally. She's really bothered by the threats that Phyllis made, but Billy vows to protect Sally. However, he also does not think there is any cause for concern. Meanwhile, Amanda calls out Phyllis for eavesdropping on her call with her boss, Aristotle Dumas, and Phyllis again presses her to get a meeting with Amanda's boss. And she tells Phyllis, no, Dumas is not interested in doing anything with you. And then Amanda wants to know why Phyllis is so fixated on Dumas, but then the lady lawyer figures it out. Phyllis wants to run chancellor after Dumas takes it from Nikki and Victor, and she's making it all about Daniel, right? But Amanda says that her boss Dumas would never hand Phyllis the reins, and then Billy and Sally walk up on them, and he wants to know what's going on. Phyllis basically says, none your business, and she makes threats about Sally helping Billy backstab her, and Phyllis says that her next move will blow up everything. Sally snarks a little bit, says she feels sorry because Phyllis hasn't had a man in a minute. Meanwhile, Amanda refuses to give Billy any details after Phyllis storms away. Claire's over at the GCAC blathering to Kyle about how much she loves working with Grandma Nikki. And then Kyle tells her he needs to go meet Audra for a drink. Claire tries to get him to take her with, but Kyle thinks Audra will say more if he is alone. But Claire doesn't like this one bit. She goes on the register with that. Holden finds Audra alone and she tells him to go kick rocks. And Holden wants to know if she's meeting Kyle and may stick around to watch. Meanwhile, Holden insists that he's just watching out for Audra. Then Kyle comes, so Holden goes, and Audra pitches a staged rivalry, Jabot versus Vibrante, to create buzz for them both. Kyle doesn't think Jabot needs this, but Audra says it can be like the epic Coke versus Pepsi soda wars and that Newman Media would have to cover it, and Audra says they can leak fake text battle, stuff like that. Finally, Kyle agrees he'll consider it. Holden finds Claire at the bar alone and is surprised that Kyle's with Audra instead of her, but Claire insists it's just work. And Holden reminds her Kyle and Audra don't work together and they're actually rivals. Claire says she doesn't really talk work with Kyle. Holden keeps prying. He wants to know if Audra and Kyle were ever together, and Claire says he sounds jealous. And then Holden prods her about what is it like being Victor's granddaughter and wonders if there are issues because she's dating an Abbott. Kyle and Audra show up together, surprised to see Holden with Claire. Audra plays nice with Claire, who gets kind of snarky with her, but she does say Holden was keeping her company. Now he follows Audra out, wanting to know if she is scheming with Kyle or against him. And Claire tells Kyle that Holden is overly curious. And Kyle tells her about Audra's rivalry idea. And Claire has to admit it sounds pretty good. But Kyle doesn't trust Audra. And then Claire wonders if Audra's interest in him is personal. Moving on to Tuesday, May 27th, season 52, episode 161. Lily is pressing Amanda for answers. Most likely, Lily wants to know why Dumas wants to protect Winters and the family, but Amanda probably isn't going to explain anything without her boss's express opinion. And, Lily wants that in-person meeting. Meanwhile, Adam and Victor strike back against Billy. So did he do something to deserve it? Or is this just Victor lashing out because he's unhinged after Michael quit and is using Adam to exact some punishment? Speaking of his ex-lawyer, Michael's decision-making worries Lauren. So Michael may be acting off now that he quit his job with Victor, he may feel guilty for bailing on the mustache. But of course, Lauren just wants him to stay away. But I think it's going to be very hard cutting those ties. Wednesday, May 28th, episode 162 of season 52. We've got Victor giving Nikki a very special birthday gift. If you remember, Victor promised to give Nikki something every day leading up until her birthday. He gave her that gold locket. We'll see what's next. Claire and Kyle kick off their plan, and this may be them trying to prove to Victor that Kyle is the man for her big party plan to win over her granddad, because this is the day that Jay Rodriguez debuts as party planner Pietro. He's going to have scenes with Victoria, Claire, looks like Kyle, and some others as they get ready for an epic bash that someone might crash. And Tracy Abbott is home from New York, and Diane shows Tracy the gentle makeover she did on the Abbott mansion, and Diane really wants to know what she thinks. Tracy is stunned into silence. Whether that's a good or a bad thing remains to be seen. Thursday, May 29th, season 52, episode 163. Ashley Abbott is also back to Genoa City, and she gets together with Jack and delivers some news that surprises him. Is Ashley going to go back to Paris long term? We'll see. Eileen Davidson is on recurring and only comes back when they have a juicy storyline or really need her, so she may exit for a while. A spoiler photo has Ashley and Jack looking serious talking at the mansion. I can't show it to you for copyright reasons, though. Phyllis opens up to Daniel, and I wonder if she's going to share her delusions. Maybe Phyllis will tell Daniel that she's planning to run chancellor with Daniel once Dumas takes it from Nikki and Victor. Is a whole bunch of ifs and thens that she's been told no on repeatedly, but she's not letting go of it. Meanwhile, Amanda is cornered into making a hard decision. Obviously, it's about her boss, Dumas, probably one of the many people in town that are pressuring to meet him, which includes Billy and Lily and Phyllis, among others. Friday, May 30th, we're going to wrap up the week with season 52, episode 164. Nikki's family and friends come together to celebrate her birthday, and I expect chaos. You know, not somebody jumping out of the cake, although that would certainly be a way for Dumas to make a splash, just boom, out of the cake. And speaking of the mystery man, he delivers a mystery message to all of Genoa City on the occasion of Nikki's birthday. Maybe it's going to play at the party, and Lily won't budge on something, and it could be about this guy. And just as a reminder, Monday, the 26th, is Memorial Day. Generally, Y&R airs a new episode. I looked back at the last few years to double check my memory, and they usually do, but there's always a chance that they could decide to air an encore episode. If they do, be sure to delete it so it doesn't mess up your DVR and you don't miss recording Tuesday's episode.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.